Excuse me. What's up, everybody? Disciple 3D here, talking about Embargo 2023 and what that is. What does that mean? Basically, I've laid this out on my thread over at Gray Bros, a render a day thread at daz3d.com, and it might seem like an odd place to put that because that's just where I share my Daz renders, and I'm a PA at Daz, although not super active. I am somewhat active. Been there for a number of years, as well as at other sites, and but I'm an avid shopper at daz3d.com, and this almost sounds like a kind of a complaint sort of a concept about how much money I spend there, but really it's not. What it is a complaint about is that my tendency to collect really cool assets for 3D stuff and then not actually ever use them, and that is a bit of a drag. So on that score, what I am interested in doing now is finding motivation to render a day in 2023 from October the 1st till October the 1st of 2024, 360, it'd be exactly 365, but almost a render a day is what I'm kind of going for. And in some cases, those will be comic strip panels. But basically, it's just to get me to stop buying all the new stuff, the latest and greatest. Trust me, I bought plenty this year. And to start reaching back in the catalog, you know, particularly back to like Genesis 3 era, when everything was already set up for iRay, and making use of these assets that I purchased over the years, and, you know, become a little bit more resourceful when it comes to creating things that I might need for a render. Instead of just going, and my usual go-to is just shopping over at Daz, looking through the old archives, and you can find almost anything, and there's various versions of it. Lots of times it'll be an old product if it's a really niche product, like say something like a horse trough or a rake for a yard or something. It'll predate iRay, and you'll need to upgrade it or somehow work on the materials to get it iRay compatible. But I own so much stuff going back to 2003, well over $20,000 worth of things I've purchased there, well over that. I don't even want to say how much over that. But in any case, now I am motivated to stop spending at Daz just long enough to make myself use what I have. And then, you know, presumably next year I'll go back to a little bit more reasonable consumer approach at daz3d.com. So this is not at all any kind of a dig on Daz. On the contrary, it's a huge part of my life as far as thinking about making renders. But I want to actually move that into making the renders and getting better at actually creating the creative art. There are a few other things that have motivated this too. My kind of like desire to get into traditional media, I mean like drawing on a digital pad or a sketch screen like I have over here. But in any case, the first the first thing that I kind of worked up here, you'll notice in the early posting on my render a day thread, like it's numbers 1 through 6, I just pulled out this blue vampire character that I happen to have, never thought about using until now. And right now what you see here is I'm working on a cover for a comic strip. I'll show you the strip here in a second, but right now I'm just kind of focused on how can I make a cool strip. Now, I've sort of set up the scene. This is my render camera right here, which you won't see anything brilliant in until I do a few things here. Actually, let me just keep looking through the preview camera, and I'll show you the preview as we work on it here, as long as my GPU holds up. Or I have 65 physical gigabytes of RAM on this bad boy, so that shouldn't be a problem. But you see, it's just overall lit, and the subject is not yet lit, but I'm about to fix that right now. Good old project that I have pretty much bought all of the Ghostlight projects on products on Daz, and you know, along the way some things changed and a lot of the old ones stopped working. But now there is a product called Ghost One where they have kind of updated the old props to start working, and man, it's really awesome. So I'm gonna just give you go ahead and just do a quick little trick here to put that into the position of my character. since I'm way out in space. So I'm trying to build this comic cover, and instead of just like compositing it, I actually want to focus on building the scene as I'm rendering it, if you know what I mean. Like the camera's like 17,000 feet back from the castle, so you can see the whole castle. So I'm trying to really set that up just the same way in the actual project so that I can light it, have the castle lit as I want it to be lit, and then light the subject a little differently. So I know that I'm going to want a couple of these. I want her to be more well lit in the background, and then I'm going to eventually set up depth of field. I haven't done that yet. So first thing you do with this little prop here is you go in and you apply the correct material. You can see that DAZ Studio is running a little bit sluggish because I have a lot going on here. Probably have too many windows open. I can fix that easy enough. Close other tabs. Okay, so I've got that. Applied that. Now I'm going to go to the materials. One thing about this product is it doesn't change in the interface when you actually apply the materials to it, and that's a little bit different than other products, similar products that I've had. So I'm going to go with kind of a green here. I want this to be a dramatic comic book, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this because I know I have to give her a harsh backlight to create the kind of glow that I want, and I'm just going to rename one of these to backlight or rim light, so that I remember which one it is. And we'll just move that behind her. And we can spin around here. Ooh. Oh, I didn't do that right. Let me just... So once again, we'll duplicate node hierarchies. That's where I messed up. And so it's 2. I'll just make it say RAM. Leave that behind her. I'm going to ultimately shrink this down to get the look that I want, I think. And that one, I know I want to be some sort of dramatic color. The front one, haven't really yet decided. I think this. But let's go in here and start looking at a little bit of our preview scene. Making sure, okay, so obviously we need that way above her. So I want her glowing eyes to be kind of dramatic as well. To bring it out just a little bit. Now, she's a blue character, so blue might be not loving what I'm seeing, to be honest with you, just yet. But if we just want some other colors, just for contrast's sake. And trying to give that rear light some attention now. So there we go. We're starting to get that glow that I wanted behind her. I don't think red is going to do it. But I think oh, I mean, that's a goodly amount of glow, that's for sure. You just start sizing this down to get that glow more like what I was thinking. A little bit around night. And I think directly behind her might be a mistake, so give it a little bit of a side angle there. Well, the front was definitely not getting it done. Oh! I don't know if the bright light in front is just sort of suggesting some sort of divinity of this character. I always like the idea of playing with tropes. The vampire might not necessarily be evil. They might have gotten there through selfless actions might have led them to become vampirized or whatever. You never know. And anytime you see a character with the arms out, of course, that is like mimicking the crucifixion. And, like better lighting would be sort of implying a good guy character, kind of, or good girl, whatever. Let's go here. Let's look at this on the bigger screen here, see what we can do. Kind of feel like I need to sort of see it. One thing I don't want to do is kind of destroy the fact that we can actually see the torches and whatnot in the background. So I don't know what the little dot is right there on her hair. That might be an artifact from the actual hair. Now I have ran a simulation here. This Connie character has eyebrows, and I don't know if that's causing that weird little artifact around the face, but we could sort it one way or the other, that's for sure. Okay, it's taking a while to render now, so I'm feeling like I need to save this. And to close some things here, I think. Okay, here we go. I might actually post this in my render day. If it supports it, I'll be surprised if it did, but maybe it will support the video link. If so, I'll pop it in there. Okay, boy, that you can see here that background, the rim light is way too hot. So that's an easy fix. Such a cool product, Ghost Light. iRay Ghost Light Kit 1. I recommend that product heavily. Okay, still too bright. Cut out something like this. I got a haircut, guys. Hadn't cut the old mane in gosh, 3 or 4 years. So it's really clown shoes right now, but it's what my wife wanted. So I'm cutting it off only so I can grow it back out. That's the way it is with the beard as well. I have been growing my beard since around the start of COVID. I think I shaved it off once since COVID started. And she, of course, hates that too because other people tend to like it for whatever reason. Oh, you look so old. You look like a child. You know what? Because she says she likes to say hurtful things and she wants to discourage me from growing my hair long. Like I look really bad, like this bad person or that bad person. And I'm like, that's really lame that you do that first off. But I digress. Oh, I think this character comes in with jewelry. That's the problem. I'll fix that. Okay, so now as far as the rim light goes, that's getting in the ballpark right there. Still not entirely happy with the light in front, but you know, again, this isn't terrible. I know for sure that I'm going to do a depth of field effect on that camera. Let's go ahead and set that up. And I know for sure that we're going to have that. So we can switch back here. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not hating it. Let me figure out what this jewelry situation is here. What is this? A Connie eyebrows recall. Huh. I could probably do a lot with this once I get it into Photoshop, but may go ahead and just try a preliminary render of it. I know I want more color around the background, so I might do something like this. Just duplicate this rim light and create a different color as well. Duplicate node hierarchies, grab the new one, and then make it, I know I want some red, but obviously it can't take up the same space, so I'm going to do it a bit. Okay, let's turn this off for a second. Texture shading, bring it down. Back over here, just watch this for a second now. See if we are any more in the program. Well, this should definitely give it a different, make this a little bit brighter. Oh, yeah. Okay, so curious how long we've been running here. We have been running for, no way, we've been running for 15 minutes. I want to keep these in little bite-sized chunks. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is I'm going to work on I'm going to run a render, break this video here, run a render. Since I'm not actually streaming this live, I can break it up like this, and that way there's less time waiting around to see what's going to happen. Let me run a render right here, and then we'll come back after that.